What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another podcast. Today I have Andrew, or do you prefer Andy? Andrew.
You can call me Andrew because you went to my school actually.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, so fair enough. Alright, so just give like a 30-second overview of what you do and.
I'm Andrew or Andy. I went to Harris Academy. That's how I know Tony. I was in blue tie. I'm a tennis player, so sort of slash coach. So at the moment, I'm coaching just anyone basically. I sort of coach advanced to sort of. I'm starting to get some beginners as well. I'm really big into sort of like gym and fitness and nutrition. So after learning for like a year and a half, and I sort of coach people on that as well. And that's pretty much what I've just been doing right now. So.
Alright, so in terms of like tennis, when did you start playing tennis?
I started when I was like 6, I think. I remember playing in the park with my dad. I sort of played like all different sports there, but tennis was one of them. And I think on one of the days he was like, "What do you think about like doing tennis lessons and stuff?" So he signed me up to sort of Sutton Junior Tennis Academy, and then from there I just sort of started training like 3 to 4 times a week, and it just gradually started building up.
So, did you play any other sports during your time, or was it always just like tennis?
It was primarily tennis. I sort of did all sorts of sports. I did tennis and football were the main ones. So I played football up until I was sort of like 13. I played at West Sutton Little League.
I used to play Little League.
Yeah, mate, it was so cool. I was sort of all over the place. I was like got a goalie for my first team, so I was pretty good like hand-eye coordination. And then I played striker because I was pretty fast. And then I ended up, in our little league they recruit players they think are good.
Yeah, we
like,
used to have that. I think Fulham used to recruit from our league. There's actually a player at Chelsea right now.
Oh really?
Callum Hudson-Odoi. He used to play. He used to go to my primary school and play at my little league.
Oh.
And he's 2 years younger than us, but he used to rip it up. Like
really?
Literally, he was so good.
I remember there was one kid. He just literally he like turned up one season. And he was just like apparently he was like some Arsenal youth academy. He just literally just owned everyone. And then he just disappeared after. So
yeah, well, yeah. He probably was like, I need to find my level.
Yeah. So that was me. And then I played left back. I was like the guy that sort of chased the striker. I used to play centre back. I used to play left back, and I used to play striker. And then I think there used to be like tiers of how old you were. Like they had like 8 to 10 or something, and then like 11 to 13. And once you hit year 7, you really stopped going. To be honest, really?
I think. Well, that's what they tried to make you do. I know people who played until year 11, which is interesting. But I don't think you're meant to do that. But in terms of like tennis, is there a specific player that you like aspire to be like, or that you watch a lot of their games, or?
I think Federer is the obvious one. As a kid, I think in any sport there's always like 1 or 2 players that literally just sort of stand above everyone. It's almost like magic. They're like they're not even playing. They're sort of like just performing on stage. And I think Federer was that guy. But I also sort of admired. I really like Andy Roddick because I think he was closest to sort of the personality I liked. He was sort of like the American sort of, the American college dude.
The hothead guy.
Get animated. Big mouth and he's jokey and all that. But also his game style was very, it was very realistic. Like Federer is sort of one of a kind, whereas Roddick, it's that sort of level like game style is.
You can see yourself doing it. You can see anyone playing like that.
Yeah, in any high level junior tennis, his game style is basically what you have to do to be good. So if you can do what he does consistently, then you'll be like a high level tennis player. So it's not always about like the big flashy shots. It's literally just the basics, and he sort of reflected that. So that's why I sort of like admired him. And I felt he was a bit of an underdog as well. Like he was good, but he was always like in the shadows of like Nadal and Federer.
Yeah, well, that's how it is with most. Yeah. You have like 1, 2, 3, 4 guys who are right at the top. Tennis, Federer, Nadal, Djokovic. You go to basketball, you have LeBron and guys like that. Football, Ronaldo and Messi.
Yeah.
I mean, most people aspire to be like those guys, but if you look at, like you said, most people, even professionals, can't do what he can do. You know what I mean? So I mean, when you say guys like, did Roddick play against Federer in a Wimbledon final?
Yeah, a couple
Yeah,
of
I
times.
think I watched that. Yeah, one of them.
You can see in his voice as well when he's giving the interview. He's sort of just sad.
I would be too if I had to play Federer. In
Yeah, I know.
There's not like he's probably one of those guys you don't want to face.
That's true, man.
So with tennis, is your goal to turn pro, or is it to continue?
Yeah,
Like,
it was to turn pro. Like from an early age, I think my dad was like, you know, we really want you to be serious at a sport. You're really good at sport. You're gifted and talented. Pick a sport, and would sort of back you, and you try and go pro. And the whole idea was like, I'll just sort of train, compete, and then sort of aspire to be like a really good professional. So I remember back then they were always saying, you know, don't worry about the money. If you can become pro and pay it all back, and then we can live in Thailand or something, then it's all good. So that was the dream, yeah.
So are you still trying to?
Not at the moment, no.
No. So
I think, yeah.
Fair enough.
I was still competing like nationally at top level up until uni, and then once uni hit, I literally just stopped. I played uni tennis, but I didn't play like the national anymore. So for 3 years, I didn't really compete seriously.
So it was like, was it workload or just you didn't want to do it anymore?
It wasn't that I didn't want to do it. I think other stuff got in the way, and it just got sidetracked. I think when uni started, that was the first time in my life where tennis wasn't the priority. Tennis always took priority over everything. So I used to get sort of special treatment at school, like enrichment, right? So I didn't used to have to go to enrichment.
Yeah.
Because they knew my dad and my mum. They'd be like, you know, oh, you're playing tennis, you know, you want to be pro, don't worry about all that. And I managed to get like 3 weeks off school during sixth form. And this was like just before exam season as well, to go to Barcelona to train in the academy there. So they're always like really nice. And it was always a priority, but when uni came, like, it just completely, it was gone. And I just started doing other things. I started like going out way more. I actually started socialising way more as well.
Free time.
Yeah, it was insane.
And you don't have your parents looking over your shoulder.
It was, yeah,
like
that was the thing, yeah.
You have the freedom to do it.
It was, yeah. I didn't really know what to do. I'd never had that sort of freedom before. So I sort of went a bit nuts. I sort of blew all my loan. In like in the first month, I literally just blew my loan. It was insane, dude. I was buying like £20 vodka bottles every night. Freshes just completely killed me. So
I've never been much of a guy to do stuff like that. I don't really drink alcohol. I'm not one for alcohol. I mean when I was like 15, 16, I was like, yeah, it's cool to drink beer, whatever. Then I kind of just was like, it kind of tastes like shit. Like
that's the thing. Yeah.
There's more. If I'm gonna drink something, I'm gonna drink something without the consequences. But then if you try and drink soft drinks, fizzy drinks, there is still consequences to those. Just you're not gonna go out of your mind at the end of the night.
Yeah. That was me as well. I was always like anti-alcohol, anti-cigarettes. But then, that first year I was all like, I'll drink a little bit. Everyone's doing it. So I started drinking, and then I was like, and that one night went out, I was like, wow, that was fucking amazing, dude. I'm going to do it again, and then again, and then again, and then again. So just went from there. So I was pretty addicted to alcohol. I think I really liked it.
I think my addiction came more from like video games.
I had that as well, man.
More than alcohol. Like, I think everyone has an addiction, but you have to make it positive. Like a lot of people are addicted to the gym or eating healthy. Like if you do something long enough, you become addicted to it. So for me, playing video games since I was like 3, 4, playing like PS1 all the way through, like throughout sixth form, my main priority was to play FIFA and become a pro at FIFA. I'm not gonna lie. It's just that it interferes too much with me. I found like while I played FIFA, even though I was getting close to the level where I could compete, it was like, it's making me a bad person.
You wanted to go pro, right?
Yeah, I wanted to go pro. I went to a tournament and everything.
Really?
Yeah, I went to France and I played.
Woo!
And
That's
I won a game and I lost to a guy who was way better than me. But FIFA's not a game you should pursue, in my opinion.
Really? I got into League of Legends. I was pretty addicted to that.
I can never get into League of Legends.
Yeah, that was the thing. My friend always wanted me to get into it. I was like, ugh, what is this shitty game?
Yeah, that's.
And then one day,
my friends took budget on me. Like play it. I tried it and I was like, it's not really my type of game. But
I was addicted to it for like a year, man. I remember I was just playing it non-stop. I remember going to tournaments and like using like, some hotels will have like okay Wi-Fi, and I like hook up to it. Like whenever I wasn't playing, I was just always playing League of Legends. And I wanted to go pro as well. The dream was to go pro, League of Legends, travel the world, play League of Legends tournaments around the world, at the same time play tennis tournaments.
Yeah, well, that was like for me with FIFA, but I never really had a sport I was that good at. I mean, football for me, I was good up until I went to high school, like went to year 7, and it was kind of like I stopped. I was like, because at primary school, the level, there's not much you can compare yourself to, you know what I mean? But when you get to high school and, you know, the year group triples, quadruples in size, there's a much bigger sample size, so maybe I wasn't as good as some of those people. I mean, I still think I was, but, you know, it is what it is. But in terms of FIFA, like I said, that was what my dream was. And I used to play, like, you know, pro clubs on FIFA. I used to play with a lot of pro players and stuff, and there's one the guy who, when I played with him, I think he was 16 at the time.
Really?
Now he's probably the best player in the world at FIFA. He's made, I don't know how many tournaments he's won this year, but he made hundreds of thousands of.
It's an obsession. These guys at the top, they're just obsessed.
But I remember, I used to play a lot, but he used to get up before school, 5 a.m, and play like 2 hours, and then he used to go to school and come back, play until like 10, and then go to bed, do it again. I was like,
I can imagine his mum in the beginning, like, just be shouting at him.
That's
but now he's successful.
Yeah, well, now he's rich, so, and he's still 18 now, I think.
Yikes!
So,
oh my god.
So in terms of going to the gym, like, how did you start out? Was it just I'll try it out, or was it just I need to get in shape, or?
I'd always done strength and conditioning in gym because of tennis. Strength and conditioning is really important for like any sport, especially tennis, because you're always in awkward positions and sort of you use muscles that you don't ordinarily use, and you're always in the squatted position. So I was always doing like some form of like squats or lunges and sort of CNS training, or like central nervous system training, which is basically like lots of sprints and explosive stuff. So I was more to sort of strengthen your endurance and to sort of prevent injury. So I'd always done that since I was like, I don't know, I think I started when I was like 9 or 10. Like, you do tennis and then you do strength and conditioning after, or you change it around.
Yeah.
And then when I was at 6th form, you do tennis, then gym, strength and conditioning, and then another tennis session. But it was always functional, like it was designed to serve tennis, it had a purpose. But right now, I've literally discarded the functional side and just gone straight into sort of almost bodybuilding type stuff.
Weightlifting.
Yeah, like proper weightlifting. So, and we'd never done sort of dumbbell bench presses and stuff to work the pec and stuff. It was more sort of functional. So I literally discarded all of that and just went for the generic gym stuff. And I thought, at first year uni, I was like, you know, I'm going up. When I went to uni, I was the only person from my school going, so I knew no one. So I was like, you know, I'm alright shape. But if I can get big, bulky, you know, come out, you know, fresh style, be like really loud, really sociable, have that sort of appearance, then the next 3 years are going to be like really amazing. So that's basically how I sort of started doing that. So I was going for looks and aesthetics rather than anything healthy. And then the healthy part of nutrition literally happened by accident because my dad really got into that. And then I sort of absorbed that. And then now my goal is to get big and look good, but also be healthy and have longevity. So happy accident, that's what it was, man.
I mean, in terms of weightlifting, if you're not careful with it, you can easily hurt yourself.
You can screw yourself over with that.
The other day I was at the gym and I wasn't paying attention. I think I was into a podcast and I was doing bench press and I had like a 2.5 plate on one side, like additional, and then I forgot to take it off when I put another plate on. So I had 2.5 more kg on one side. I was like, what the hell is going on? And I think I tweaked my shoulder a little bit.
Yeah. I think I'd have always been lucky because I've always done it since early age. I've always been a little bit stronger, and I sort of knew the techniques anyway because I'd done it before, so I knew how to sort of do the deadlifts and the squats and any lifts in the correct form.
I know deadlift is beneficial, but I just don't like risking it. You know
that's the thing.
I don't like risking it. I think I've done it once, and I did not put a lot of weight on it at all. I think I first went gym when I was 16 or 15. like, I know 16 because, you know, in Mitcham, I think it's Cannon's Leisure Centre.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had to sign up there because at the time it was the closest gym to me. Now there's like gyms everywhere around my area. But I went with my friends. I was like, I can sign up. My friends were going. I was like, fuck it, let me go.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like committed to learning anything about it at the time. Now I've restarted a few months ago and I've obviously been way more prepared. But back then I just used to go and just be like, yeah, let me just see how much I can lift. It was a competition, you know?
Yeah.
The amount of times people would come up to us and correct our technique, like, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. At least I never dropped weights on myself, I guess.
Really? I've never done that. I've had one freak accident where when I was at Bromley Tennis Centre and we're doing squats, but we're using a training bar, so it's lighter than a normal one. And I've taken weights off one side and left them on the other. Usually it's fine, but on the training bar, because it's lighter, when I took the weights off, it swung over, and there were like glass mirrors on one side. It's literally smashed against the glass mirrors, and I've literally saw that and I was like shocked. I was like, fuck, you know. But luckily they didn't break, and I just got stern looking at by the trainer. But yeah, if those smash, man.
I've seen some freak accidents online of
Really?
windows smashing and stuff.
Yeah,
There was a girl trying to do, I think it was a deadlift, and she was right by like windows, like the gym had windows at the front, and she's doing the deadlift and she couldn't do it. She drops it and it rolls and smashes the window.
Wow.
I've seen a few people at the gym doing some crazy stuff.
Mm.
The other day I was seeing a guy who was trying to do a dumb bicep. He was trying to do his bicep workout, and he was like this.
No, he's leaning.
What are you doing? You put so much weight on it. I was like, I can't even do that much.
That's the
and
thing, yeah.
you could tell it was one of his first times. I'm like, you're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah, that's the thing. You want to start small, man. I remember doing, when I first started, I was doing like 20 kg on the dumbbell bench press, but now I'm like 38, so you just have to sort of go slowly.
My chest muscles, no strength.
Really?
Never had no strength. I've always been really, really skinny. I think I still weigh like 75 kg.
I think that's more than me. I weigh about the same, to be fair, but I guess you're taller.
I'm
so.
6'3", so
6 foot.
I think I checked. I know BMI is a bit of bullshit still a little
Really?
bit, but I should be weighing a little bit more than that. But, you know,
Is what it is, dude.
Yeah. So what's your like typical workout like? I know a lot of people will do 3 sessions a week, intense training where they go full body, all out. I don't particularly like that. Some people do, you know, I know The Rock does 6 days a week where he will do different body parts every day, like after leg day, chest day. So what's your typical
when I first started out, it was more like The Rock. So it was like bro split, so one day you do chest, one day you do legs, one day different body parts. Did that for about a year. And then I changed it up to more sort of full body sort of splits, so upper body or low. It started off upper body, lower body, and then I started doing push pull. So this year and last year I was doing more sort of chest, shoulders with legs, and then the next day I'll do back shoulders and legs. So sort of even it out, and I'll do about like 5. I was trying to go every day, but then I changed it to 5 days a week.
I mean, every day is a bit intense.
It was, yeah,
I mean,
but that's the
you
thing.
can
I was
do every
obsessed.
day.
Yeah.
If you do like, I mean, it's like what the 70% sort of volume training method you can.
Yeah.
But still, I try to do that 5-6 days a week, but I still need to take days off because you go and recovery, a lot of people I think take it as if your muscles are sore, you don't work out, but that doesn't mean your muscles are fully recovered, you know what I mean? True. If they're not sore. Like, if you can't lift what you could before, that's how you know your muscles aren't recovered. I mean, that's that's what I read, but...
I think one of my best qualities is that I just have like an insane recovery time. I think that's just from like just years of just playing sport and stuff. So you got like, I don't know the exact science, but when you do that sort of training for so long, you sort of, the mitochondria, you got more of them, or they're stronger,
exercise
so
increases,
you should recover so much quicker.
Yeah. Exercise increases your mitochondria, and there's certain supplements you can take as well, I think. But in terms of your recovery, a lot of recovery depends on diet, of course, and sleep.
That was big.
As well.
That was big for me as well.
And some people do a lot of, I like professional athletes do a lot of, cryotherapy, hot, cold, stuff like that.
Yeah, we used to do that. I remember that. Yeah.
I don't like doing. I tried cold showers. Never again.
I was doing that for like a year. I tried getting back into it. It's a bit hard. Like once once you go relapse and go back into the warm showers, it's really hard to go back into the cold showers.
Yeah, I was gonna do a 30-day experiment of
Really?
cold showers, and I was like,
It is good.
I tried on 2 days, and I was like, I can't do it. I couldn't. I've tried other 30-day experiments. Right now, I'm doing intermittent fasting.
Nice, I do that. Yeah, I'm big on the diets, and that's part of my diet. Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, nice.
I think I'm almost 3 weeks in, and I'm
Really?
gonna make a video and I'm gonna
Nice.
talk about that. But I tried no sugar.
Okay, nice.
Didn't work. The thing is, I fucked up by accident because I had a list of stuff I'm not meant to eat, and I was just eating some pizza or something. I had barbecue sauce. I was like,
right.
fuck.
Yeah.
I ate the barbecue sauce, like, shit, this is like 30 odd grams of sugar.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many products where they sneak the sugar in, and you wouldn't expect it.
I mean, ketchup, any sauce, really, any sauce has so much, like, even in terms of, I know, do you do keto?
I do keto, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try that, but in a few months. I think I need to do 30 days no sugar before I do that.
Take it, go slowly.
So, in terms of back to working out, how long is your typical gym session?
It was 2 hours. I try to get down to an hour, I think. Right now it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I mean, I take quite long breaks in between, so usually it stretches out to about 2 hours. So yeah, 2 hours a day, 5 days a week.
2 hours, so that's 10 hours a week.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's a lot of hours. My gym session usually about an hour. But like I said, I don't go intense every day. I'll do, like, maybe instead of doing my maximums, I'll drop it a tiny bit so I can go the next day and do the same thing. But I haven't been doing it that long. But yeah, I'm definitely getting stronger. But
Getting there, yeah.
So do you do any sort of cardio mixed in, like, or?
I wasn't there. But I do a lot of tennis coaching now, so that's basically my cardio. And I do a lot of it, to be fair. So most days I'm doing about 3 to 4 hours, some days I'm doing 5. And it's a lot of running around as well. So I don't do running on a treadmill, I just sort of leave the cardio for the tennis. So.
I think running on a treadmill is the most boring thing.
It is, dude. Oh my god.
I've tried every type of cardio you can do at the gym. All of it is boring.
Mindless.
I tried the treadmill and I'm like, because my legs are so long, I have to go so high on the thing for me to actually start running. In terms of elliptical, it got boring after a few times. Rowing machine, boring.
Yeah, I know.
I'd rather just go play sport for cardio.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's so much better playing sport.
I think in terms of, like you said, when you were doing tennis and you do conditioning, I think most people should do something like that. Like, just going to the gym, you should have a main sport and the gym should be like your supplement. Because of course, like you said, you need to condition your body, because in most sports you don't work out every single muscle, you know what I mean? So if you play football, you're not really using your arms are going to suffer, you know what I mean? But so do you do anything specific for recovery? I know we mentioned it, but is it just diet and sleep?
It's pretty much just diet and sleep. Yeah, make sure you get enough sleep. I do take cold showers. I take cold showers in the morning there, not at night. Nighttime I take warm showers. I forgot there is a reason. I forgot the reason, but yeah, we used to do cold baths. I know the NTC at the National Tennis Centre there. They have like it's basically like if you stand in it, it goes up to your neck, and they just fill it with like freezing cold water, and you just stand in there. So I used to do that.
No?
I don't know what it's called.
I think cryotherapy is like the really cold like smoke thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's like the Captain. Have you seen when the Captain America comes out? And it's like like I've seen that. Yeah, we didn't do that. Alex, hella expensive. I know like top level athletes do that.
I don't think it's that expensive. I mean, that was coming from Joe Rogan, so
really?
He's rich. I'm not sure on him. He has a gym in his studio, so
yeah.
But he got a lot of that stuff for free, I think. It is what it is.
There was some other we used to drink milk. Apparently, milk is really good after training for like recovery and stuff. But it's mostly just diet. If your diet's good and you get enough sleep, then that's pretty much what you have to do.
Most people say it's like 70% diet.
It is. Diet is it's way more important than the actual gym and stuff.
In terms of putting on weight and stuff like that, you still need to eat a lot of calories though. You know, and it's a lot harder to eat a massive amount of calories when you're eating healthy, you know what I mean? Because you could eat cake, whatever. There's so much calories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That you're gonna put on weight, but you're still gonna screw yourself over in a lot of ways. Have you had any like injuries from the gym or tennis?
Yeah, I had one injury from the gym. Usually I've been pretty good. I don't really get serious injuries. Usually it's just like overworked muscles. So I'll just take like a week out. But yeah, the latest injury I got was from a deadlift. I got it on my lower back.
Yeah.
So I literally tried to go 140 kg, and I've literally gone half. I've got a video of it. I've gone halfway, and it's literally just I could feel it, and I just had to drop everything. And then for like the next 2 weeks, I couldn't really move my back, so I couldn't really play tennis as well.
Yeah, that's why I don't do deadlifts.
Yeah, that was the thing.
I've had it on lots of people say don't do deadlifts. Like,
Yeah.
I was watching, like the World's Strongest Man competitors and stuff. There was a guy, I think he went on Joe Rogan's podcast.
I think I saw that as well. Yeah, it wasn't beneficial.
He was talking about how deadlifts, they don't do them at American football gyms, like in your college thingy, and even NFL teams. They don't do deadlifts because you do it wrong.
Too risky.
You screw up your back, and
Yeah.
a lot of people, you screw up your back, it's screwed up for life.
Yeah.
I remember my dad, he was working at a cafe, and he went to pick up a box.
Oh yeah,
And
I think my dad's got the same story.
He's thinking his back, and he was on the ground and he couldn't feel his legs. Or he went to the hospital and he was fine, but
Yikes.
probably like pinched a nerve or something.
Really?
So you've touched on like diet. Like, what is your typical like? You do
Routine,
keto obviously,
yeah.
but what do you eat like in keto and stuff like that?
Let's see. So right in the morning, I would have like a coffee. I won't eat anything until about 4 o'clock. And then I'll have like it's called beef bone broth. So I just microwave that, sort of break my fast. But then my first meal, I have steamed vegetables. So I have like a sweet potato. I think if you keep it under 50 grams of carbs, then you still hit ketosis. Yeah. So I have a sweet potato with like some broccoli or kale, and then like 2 eggs with whatever meat I'm having that day. So like beef or chicken or anything. And then the second meal, pretty much the same, steamed vegetables, but I use different veggies, and then a different meat, so maybe like a salmon or something, and that's pretty much it. If I want a snack, I'll probably have like an avocado with like some with like double cream, because it's quite high in fats, or with like some blueberries or something. But apart from that, that's the plan I want to try and stick to. Lately, I've been sort of cheating a lot. I've been having like a lot of KFC and like Wagamamas and stuff, just simply because I'm like so busy.
It's convenient.
Yeah, you're just like Victoria Station. You see like the Itsu or the Japanese, and fuck, you just go in there like get some noodles.
It's convenient because if you have to cook every day, even if it's meal prep, most meals you can only store for about 3 to 4 days.
Yeah, that's
so
true, yeah.
You can't really prep for your whole week. So then it's like Friday. You haven't got any meals. Might as well just get KFC.
Yeah, I know.
But in once a week, that's not really that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In your whole.
If you're having it, just like a little bit, then it's fine.
My diet is awful. It really, it's been awful for ages. Like I can't even lie. I'm just lazy when it comes to food. Like I've been trying to do better, but it
can be hard. I know. I stuck to it religiously for like a year. Absolutely no sugars, no processed stuff. If I looked at the packet and there was like a bunch of different chemicals and stuff, I would not touch it.
Yeah, my mom's getting into that, but she's getting more into the save the environment stuff.
Oh, okay,
no plastic. You see that like green and white.
Oh yeah.
Thing? She made that out of plastic bags.
Oh wow.
From Asda.
Damn.
That's the colour.
Talented, eh?
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. So, you prep your meals in like advance, or do you just cook?
Well, like cook them. No, I just sort of go to the gym midday, and then I just go home and eat. And do whatever later on, and then go home and like cook and eat. But when I was busy and working, then I would prep it. Last year when I was working in Camden Market, I could make my own food in the morning, take it, and we put it inside like a massive rice cooker to keep it warm. Right now, I'm not able to prep any of my meals because I just don't have anywhere to sort of like reheat it and stuff. So, but I was thinking of, I haven't started yet, but I was thinking of prepping my meals again and just eating it cold. You know, I can't keep cheating.
Cold is not the same.
It's not nice, but it's worth it.
Have you seen any of these like World's Strongest Men fitness channels that they do now? All of they all have YouTube channels. Like the Mountain from Game of Thrones.
I don't follow
those guys. He has a YouTube channel. Brian Shaw. I mean, these guys are massive.
Yeah.
Weigh 200 kg
Yikes.
plus. But like, if you want to see in terms of how to do technique and how to eat right, these guys, they do it like perfectly. I mean, they do eat way more than you probably should, like 10,000 calories.
Big guys as well, yeah.
But yeah, I watched a lot of their technique because they do the technique right. If you can copy them, you're gonna not hurt yourself at the gym. In terms of diet, they eat as clean as they can because even though they don't look in great shape, they're in pretty good shape.
I do follow Jeff Cavalier, Athlete X, for like the exercises and stuff, and I follow Thomas DeLau for like diet and stuff because he does keto and intermittent fasting. So those are my two guys, but I don't really follow anyone else, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you probably don't have time to be watching too much YouTube. So in terms of intermittent fasting, we touched on it, but how did you get into it? Like,
my dad was doing it. So my dad, I think when I was at uni, he first started. He literally, I don't know how he started. He watched a video about hominids, like history stuff, and their diet and how they sort of inevitably were doing intermittent fasting because there are periods of the day where they don't, like looking for the food.
Yeah, they couldn't.
And then like an hour or two when they're actually eating.
Yeah.
And they were saying those human beings were way healthier than people today. And then from there he got into ketogenic diet, how you should switch up to eating high fats, low carbs, and trying to avoid complex carbohydrates and stuff. And you did that for about a month, and then you did intermittent fasting. So literally you just led on to one led after the other. And then I think after about a month, he literally just lost so much, because he was quite chubby and fat, right? And then when I came back from uni, he was literally like super sick. He lost so much weight. He had like a massive neck. He literally gone. He had like that jawline now. You could see his cheekbones and everything was just chiseled. And I was like, whoa. And then he talked to me about the longevity, you know, the lies in the food industry and how they're putting stuff in it that messes with your hormones and stuff. And I was literally like, oh, whoa. And I think the one thing was like, yeah, there's one chemical they put into a lot of products that causes your body to produce more estrogen. And I was like, oh, estrogen's a big no-no, because you can't build muscle with estrogen. So I was like, okay. And after that, I just sort of listened to everything he said.
Yeah, in terms of, like, I've watched a lot of stuff on keto and intermittent fasting. And I mean, even though with these things, like, it's not fully, studied, they're still doing more studies, but it's proven in like other animals that if you intermittent fast, longevity does increase. I mean, there's other things you can do. I think there's a podcast Joe Rogan done the other day with a guy who's a specialist in that. He studies it, so you can, I don't remember what it's called.
Was he a scientist?
Yeah.
Dr. Berg, maybe, I don't know.
No. I'll look at it. It was like yesterday or the day before he put it out, but obviously increases longevity, and there's a lot of studies that say if you're hungry, you just work better in general, like.
Yeah, because if you're, in terms of your body, if you're not eating, you're looking for food. So it triggers your sort of CNS to sort of activate and give you more energy and stuff.
I mean, I've been intermittent fasting, like I said, 3 weeks. I mean, I failed once, but I had to because it was my brother's birthday. So I had to, but I made up for it, so I still added the 16 hours, like, I went 16 hours after that. But it's not that difficult, it's
once
not
you get
that
the hang
difficult.
of it, yeah.
The first few days, if you're used to eating, like, at random times of the day, it's difficult, but I think most people skip breakfast anyway. So if you can skip breakfast and start, I don't know, like I do 11 till 7 I can eat, and then most of it's sleeping anyway, like 6 to 8 hours is sleeping. But if you keep yourself busy, it's not that hard.
Yeah, that's the main thing, keep yourself busy. And I think if you when you do eat and you eat the right foods, then that's like good fuel that your body uses, because there's no point really doing intermittent fasting if you can just eat like trash, because then your body's just going to be so inefficient and you're just going to be so tired. And
more natural foods break down a lot more slower and evenly, like in terms of sugar release. I know fruits and stuff like that, they release sugar a lot slower into your system than if you go and eat a chocolate bar, for example. So you will get a massive insulin spike if you were eating chocolate, whereas if you're eating fruit, you're not going to have that. And in terms of diabetes and stuff and weight loss, keto and intermittent fasting is the best way to do it, I think. Like I've watched,
100%,
I've seen a lot of studies and stuff. It's the best way to do it, and diabetes runs in my family, so that's the incentive for me to do it. But yeah, I think most people should try it. I mean, it's not for everyone, but I think you should try it at least. So, so your fast is how long, like?
I don't know. The last one, it's a standard one. I think it's 16:8. What was that?
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 different methods. I was researching it. You got like 16:8, which is the main one most people do. I'm trying.
That's the one I did.
Some people do 14 hours, 10 hours, but I don't see the point of that. might as well just do 16 8. There's one where people eat for 5 days and then they don't eat for 2 days and then that's a bit extreme in my opinion.
My dad's done a 7-day fast before, where he's just drunk water, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people, you could live on a liquid diet, especially if you're overweight you can, but in terms of me, and I have no fat on my body, me is probably the best way to do it. So in terms of, you've talked about how you play tennis and stuff like that obviously disciplined you, like, in many ways.
Yeah, I was like I think having like a goal and an ambition sort of, it doesn't sway you as much. Like, I remember as a kid, like, if any shit sort of happens, a lot of kids would sort of react, like, quite emotionally strongly, whereas if any shit came to me, I was sort of quite dismissive. I was sort of like, So I think having like a goal, because if you have like a goal and a purpose, then anything that comes to sort of knock you off, you sort of unwavered a little bit. So I think when I stopped playing tennis at uni, I was sort of, I think that was the first time where I might have got depressed. For like the first time in my life I was sort of depressed. I didn't really know what I wanted to do and stuff like that. And it definitely does discipline you, because you start playing because you're motivated, but the discipline keeps you doing it. So when sometimes you wake up in the morning like, oh, I don't want to do this, but because it's so ingrained into your brain, you just, even though you're going, oh, I don't want to do it, you're still doing it. Yeah. And then afterwards, usually the motivation comes after you've done it. So when you're walking home after a good training session, you're like, yeah, that was good, that was really good. So
yeah, that's what I tell a lot of people. A lot of people expect, like, they're going to be so motivated and it's going to be
that's
easy.
Complete lies.
Let me tell you something. I've got up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym many times. Nice. It is never fun to get out of bed. Never. And people expect, yes, it's easy. I don't, like, honestly, like, this might sound a bit harsh, but I don't really respect people that have no discipline. Because what are you going to achieve by it? I mean, when you're a child, you have obviously discipline in terms you have to go to school this time. But when you get like to uni, your parents aren't there or teachers aren't there to discipline you, and then you have to start acting like an adult in essence, and you have to discipline yourself and say, I've got to do this and this and this. And if you just go on what you feel like doing, you'll do nothing. Because you're always going to feel like doing nothing, you know what I mean? You're always going to feel like, I can watch YouTube today or Netflix or stay in bed, because that's how your brain's wired, you know? It doesn't want to do anything difficult.
Yeah, it just wants to stay in the little comfort zone.
Exactly, because back in the day, there was predators everywhere. You wanted to stay in the cave and you didn't want to hunt for food, but you had to, you know what I mean? And I think if you use the same principles, obviously it's not as savage now, but you have to use the same principles. And one thing I said, there's a video coming out on my channel soon about laziness and how to stop being lazy, but I said in there, if you don't sort of work hard for what you want and you don't discipline yourself, somebody else will just go and get everything and you'll be looking at them and you'll be like, well, that could have been me.
That's the thing, yeah.
And in terms of motivation, like you touched on, I don't really think if you want to do it, you're motivated. I don't think motivation just comes and slaps you in the face, you know what I mean?
I don't think I was ever really motivated. I think I just started doing it. I was doing it for so long that I sort of, if I didn't do it, I sort of felt a bit weird.
You feel guilty.
But there were some days where, I remember as a kid, where if I wasn't playing tennis and I was at home, or even like with friends, it would be like, I'd feel a little bit anxious, like sort of,
wasting
I don't know, like in a sort of void.
That's how I feel. Like if I haven't, like I started a different channel because on my main channel, I've been uploading very sporadically. I say would be the right term. But I never knew what I wanted to do on my YouTube channel. I started off, I used to just upload videos for fun back in the day, but then I started doing FIFA and I was pursuing FIFA and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I started doing football and basketball because it's really what I'd say I'm an expert in. Like,
I think that's the best way to sort of find your passion, is just to do a whole bunch of different things, and then once you find something,
you have to try everything. Like if you don't know what you like, then you've got to go and do something to find out what you like.
It's not just going to magically appear.
Yeah, a lot of people are sitting there. I have a friend, I'm not going to say his name, but he's literally, actually he might watch it, but yeah, he knows what he has to do. But he's sitting there right now and he's doing nothing. I'm like, go do something.
Yeah.
And then you might find what you want to do instead of sitting there playing Fortnite or whatever you're doing. Like I was like that, and then I was like, if I sit here and don't do anything, I'm gonna be sitting here for a long time. And you might as well go do something and try stuff out. Like, how are you gonna know that you like archery or you like doing this if you never go and try it? You know what I mean? Because you can't read about everything and be like, oh yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
And like you said, a lot of people just think it's gonna drop on their lap. They're gonna have it one day and then they're gonna live a happily ever after.
Yeah. I think that's just like years of just social conditioning that you just have to stay comfortable and just don't interfere with anything else or any other people and just sort of stay to your sort of 9 to 5 job and just, live a sort of quiet life.
I mean, in essence, most people give up. Like, if you don't have the resilience, like, you're never going to make it to what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have the discipline, and I don't think really motivation is a thing in terms of if you want to do something, you're gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like,
you just got to go out there and just be willing to get slapped in the face a couple of times and then just keep going.
Like I said, I've uploaded so many YouTube videos in my life. How many of them have got 0 views? I don't know. So many of them have got
I think I've got about
views,
5 views on one of my videos.
And I started another channel because I was like, fuck it, let me just start doing reactions. A lot of people watch those. Nice. I started another channel. Fuck it. I started like a month ago and I've got like 40 odd subscribers. So I'm like, well, I just keep doing that because I don't know what I want to do with my main channel. I was thinking self-improvement and stuff. I want to do the podcast, but it's hard to get guests when you have not a lot of followers, you know what I mean? I reach out to people, they agree, then they don't, they just stop talking to me.
Really?
I've had some people say, yeah, I will do it, but not right now, or stuff like that.
It's difficult, yeah, because sometimes you think it's like a good idea, and then once it actually comes, you sort of, oh no, stay in the comfort zone.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't step out of your comfort zone,
just follow the fear. Whenever you feel anxious, just sort of...
That's, like, if you feel uncomfortable, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Okay, unless it's, I mean, there's certain types of uncomfortability that you might not want to feel, but in terms of going out of your way to improve yourself, yeah, the first time I posted a YouTube video, I was like, oh my god, you know what I mean?
It's your ego's just hyperactive and you think, oh, what are people going to think about me? And
exactly, I'm like, no one gives a shit what
in
you're
reality,
doing. No one cares. Like, maybe they'll care for 2 days and they'll be like, oh, this guy's doing that, and then they'll forget. And then you're just back to being you, like, especially on social media. I mean, people like to compare themselves on social media, like, all the time. Like, they see someone like you on social media, obviously you're in good shape, they'll be like, oh wow, this guy's doing this, this and this, I can't do that. Of course you can do that.
Yeah, it's still flesh and blood, eh? Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that don't edit their photos and stuff like that, but that's why I say you can't always compare yourself to people on Instagram.
See, I was thinking of doing that, but editing's really hard, so I don't really bother.
I mean, there's a lot of those weird apps that you can just, like, edit your face and stuff. I know a lot.
It's too long, man.
I mean, I'm like, it is what it is. There's a lot of great videos on YouTube of people exposing fake.
I saw Kim Kardashian got exposed.
I mean,
they
all Photoshop. Their bodies are not natural. Like,
it's not supposed to be like that.
They're not meant to look like that. You know what I mean? But people, they see it. They're used to it. They're like, oh yeah, I can look like that, and then they don't realize it's unnatural. And then now, I don't like to go political, but there's a lot of people that say, oh, just accept what you look like. This, that. I'm like, bro, especially with the whole, like the fat mannequins in stores, I'm like, why? Like, oh, I want to see what, no, you need to have something to aspire to. The reason mannequins look like they do is to give you a goal. Be like, I want to fit into that shirt, you know what I mean? I just don't understand everyone's, like, rush to not offend people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely taken a big dive towards that sort of direction. I remember back in school, man, we were so racist and rude.
Bruh, I'm not going
to... The amount of shit,
Back then, if you called someone gay, it was like
normal.
That was a thing. You don't want to be called gay. Like, people used to get bullied on the count. Like, even if there was any chance, even though they weren't gay, you still call them gay. That's the insult. Now, if you say that, you can get expelled. I'm like, bro. I mean, the amount of times me and my friends have said racist stuff to each other, like, it is what it is. Man.
I think between friends it's fine. Like, if you still understand each other.
The amount of people that get triggered about it. If you ever played on Xbox Live, you know about
the
racism.
Modern Warfare days, man.
The amount of times people have invited me and insulted me racially, even though I'm not of the race they're insulting me of. Because apparently my accent sounds too black according to some people on Xbox Live. They're all like 12-year-olds though. So.
Yeah, you always get the 12-year-olds, man.
I mean, it's always fun. The Irish guys are the best though.
Really?
The Irish guys. I remember I was playing Black Ops with my friend and these Irish guys, they were just trying to cuss me over and over, and I had enough. I was like, what's wrong with you guys?
Yeah.
They're so funny though, man. I love it.
I used to like getting insulted. I think back then I was just.
I mean, I don't care.
It's like a point of stimulation. It's just like you could for like a few moments you're just alive and you're like what?
With me, I think a lot of my friends, they know that I don't really take bullshit. So if you insult me, I'm just gonna insult you back.
Yeah.
Like I just like I can't be asked. Like I'm not gonna be super sensitive to what offends you or not. You know what I mean? Like I've had friends stop talking to me because I didn't congratulate them on achieving something.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I was like,
yikes.
I mean, I'm sorry that what you achieved didn't impress me that much, or I didn't see it, or I didn't have time to respond. Like, it is what it is, man. I don't know. Have you got any last thoughts or anything you'd like to?
Afraid not. I don't know. Nothing really comes to
I
mind.
think you should start like a proper YouTube channel.
Yeah, I should do. At the moment, I'm just posting a lot of tennis and
I
sort
see
of
like the
gym
clips
stuff.
on Instagram, but like,
Just
I mean,
put it together and make a.
you do obviously a lot of training. I mean, you could do certain things like that. You could do like nutrition videos. You could do like a date. Like you could do your workout routine and stuff like that. I think that would be interesting, and it's obviously got value for people to watch. You know.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking of like making guides for like university students. I think a lot of people go to uni and they're sort of a little bit lost and stuff. Sort of guide to gym and nutrition and how to go out and talk to. I feel like a lot of people who say that they don't like going out and clubbing are the sort of people that wouldn't go and try and talk to new people. I think those people are sort of latched onto their sort of ego and they're sort of, if you get to that sort of fear, anxious sort of situation, and they sort of come up with an excuse to not sort of talk to people. That was the big thing in uni. In second year, I tried to make my priority was to just literally just talk to every single person. I didn't care if I thought they were cool, if I thought they weren't cool and stuff. I would just talk to everyone and try and make everyone like my best friend. Because even if you go up to a random person and you talk to them, and you become okay friends, and you maybe don't hang out, they're going to have other friends who you're going to connect with. So it's like a connection, so it's like tree, you just sort of slowly branch out. And that's the great thing, once you have your little circle, because I had to do that, because I didn't have any friends from back school, so I didn't know anyone. So I literally just turned up to, second year, any party I was invited to, I literally 100% turned up. And I remember going, there was one at Liberty Point I went to, I knew absolutely no one, and one girl who invited me, I sort of kind of knew her, so I went on my own. I tried to call my buddy, can you come, and he was like, sorry, I can't come, so I just literally went on my own, and I ended up just making friends with like everyone. If you can just go and just don't take anything too seriously, and just everything's like almost like a joke, and you just talk to everyone with like sort of an easy smile and stuff like that. Then
I mean,
it makes it very
a lot
easy.
of the time, in time, like most times, you're not going to see a lot of these people again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even if you make a fool out of yourself, oh well, just move on to the
And
next.
a lot of the times, if you do make it for yourself, it's a good thing.
Exactly.
People think you're funny.
Like, there's always a place for a clown. Like if you can bring, like in terms of anything, if you can bring value or entertain people, you're set in any.
And that's the great thing. Like with Instagram, you can just connect with everyone, so everyone's connected. So if you've made friends from one party and then you want to go out clubbing, you can literally put a post down like, "Hey, I'm going," and everyone's gonna like, oh, "Okay, we'll go." And the great thing is, you just slowly build your sort of network, your social circle.
And even if you're not great friends, like you said, if you ever need something or you need, because a lot of these people are going to go into fields and stuff where you could potentially need them or potentially need some help from them one day. And if you're on bad terms with people and you reach out, then you're like, sorry, you should have been nicer to me back then. A lot of people are petty like that. But
I think the worst thing you can do is if you get a bad reaction is to sort of react badly back and be like, oh, whatever, and like throw an insult.
That happens a lot when people get rejected by girls on the street.
Yeah, that's like the worst thing you can do. It just shows that you care too much. So if that ever happens, I have the so anyways. It's called the so anyways sort of motto, where whatever happens, you're like, oh, okay. So say if you go talk to a girl and you don't get a really good reaction and stuff, the last thing you want to do is be like, oh, well, you're a slut anyway, or just throw an insult and then walk away. You want to be like, haha, so anyways, and you just carry on the conversation as if you acknowledged it, but at the same time it didn't really affect you. And a lot of the time, they will give you bad reactions and they do it sort of on purpose. But if you just get past that initial barrier, then a lot of times they just open up anyways. And if you just befriend that's the thing. If they give you a bad reaction and you befriend everyone else, then they're sort of inclined to sort of change their opinion and sort of talk to you again.
If one person is reacting in a bad way to you and you're friends with everyone else, it's kind of like, if that person is kind of negative, I mean, they're going to just be exiled anyway. Like, they're going to have to change their attitude.
That's the thing, I don't think you should behave in a way where you're looking for reaction. Because if you're looking for reaction, you're sort of using that good reaction to sort of validate yourself.
Yeah.
You want to come from, some of my friends who like struggle sort of socialising, I say, the two qualities you want are self-amusement, which is you just naturally put yourself in a good mood. Because if you're in a good mood and you're the person giving out energy, then everyone else is going to respond well. And to be non-reaction seeking. So when you say something, you're not doing it for the purpose of trying to get someone to turn their heads and like laugh at you. You just say it because you wanted to say it. So sometimes I say like a joke that I think would be funny. A lot of the times people are like, ha, whatever, it's funny. And then sometimes they'd sort of be like, okay. But then you bring it back to the so anyway. So even though you said that and you didn't get a good reaction, that's so anyways. Turn to the next person. Hello,
The amount of jokes I've made that no one laughed at, but I laugh at them, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
as long as you're in like that good mood and state, and you don't focus too much on it, and you just.
I mean, there's no point in dwelling on anything. Like, if you there's so many people, and people get hung up on rejections. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've been rejected by so many girls in my life. I don't really care at this point. I've been rejected. Like, people, like I said, podcast guests are like, I don't want to do it. Okay, it is what it is. Like, if you dwell on that and be like, oh, what's wrong with me? What am I doing? Like, you're just gonna be stuck. You want to keep moving forward in life. You never want to stay stagnant. And I think, like what you said, it's a great way. Like, just keep moving on.
Yeah.
If one thing doesn't work, try something else.
I think a great motto is you want to crush it and get results in life, but at the same time, it's just one big joke. So you're trying to work and you're trying to progress, but at the same time, it's very light-hearted. And you don't judge yourself. If you don't judge yourself, then you'll find everyone else won't sort of judge you as well. That's the one thing as well. If you want people to sort of open up, sometimes you go to some places and people are sort of like closed off and they wouldn't sort of open up to you. A great way to sort of get them to open up is to not judge yourself and to give yourself permission to have fun and give yourself permission to act a little bit retarded. A lot of the time, say if I go to like parties and people are sort of a little bit closed off, I would deliberately act just a little bit retarded or a little bit goofy because if they see that I don't judge myself, then they're going to feel like, hey, this person doesn't judge himself, he probably won't judge me, I can sort of open up and sort of be friends with this person.
I mean, it makes you more approachable.
Yeah, it definitely does. If you're the person who's just all about the fun, that's where people want to be. Just fun,
exactly, because, like you said, if you're just going through life and you're not enjoying it, what is the point? And to get back onto it, there's a quote, I think it's like, you're not who you think you are, you're not who I think you are, you're who you think I think you are, or something like that. So it's like, people judge themselves on what they think other people think of them, you know what I mean? So
you're always going to have judgmental thoughts, but the key strategy is to just not let it overwhelm you, just sort of watch it. It's going to pass through your mind, you just watch it like a river, you sort of watch it go in and then back out, and then it fizzles back out into the immaterial or whatever, and then that's it. You're just sort of just watching the thoughts and feelings go, and you don't get too attached to them, and that's how you can sort of ease your way through, because people, they get all these thoughts, they like talk to new people and they're like, oh, what if they think I'm a loser or whatever, but honestly, you just, and if you latch onto it, then it becomes reality because your sub-communication behaviour sort of exhibits it into the real world. But if you just watch it pass through your mind, in and out, it's just going to disappear, and then you're back into the sort of fun.
I think self-awareness is incredibly important as well. Just if you know who you are, then, and you know what you're good at, and you know what qualities you have, life is so much easier, because then you know what you want to pursue, you know how you can go about it and stuff like that. Because there's a lot of people that maybe socializing isn't their strong point, but if they know that they can capitalize on something, maybe they are funny, maybe they are really good at like just conversating with people, you can use that to your strengths. But if you try and always patch up your weaknesses, you're never going to be really good at one thing, you know what I mean? And I'm always big on go for one thing and like sort of tunnel vision that. Because what's the point in pursuing 5 different things because you can't put all your time into it. You know what I mean? It's like you said you were pursuing tennis, you stopped all the other sports to pursue tennis.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't, you wouldn't have been as good as you are. You know what I mean? I think that goes for most things. Like just self-awareness. If you're self-aware of what you can do and who you are, life becomes easy. You know what I mean? But yeah, should we wrap it up there?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you.
I enjoyed that.
That was a great discussion.